Oh God. Oh my God. Oh my God.
I want to quickly talk to you about this scene from the 2006 film, The Wicker Man.
Run! Put it down, honey! Put it down!
The Wicker Man is a horror drama directed by American director Neil LaBute. And it stars Nicolas Cage in the leading role.
Ahoy there!
The story centers around a troubled officer whose past is mysteriously linked to a strange island. While investigating the disappearance of a young girl, he encounters a community deeply entrenched in pagan rituals and strictly non-Christian values. His investigation ultimately leads the community to sacrifice him to their gods in this scene on screen now.
Nature, receive this sacrifice.
Now, structurally, this film suffers from significant issues, and this scene, in a single snapshot, reveals exactly why. What's intended as a scene of horror loses much of its impact due to the frantic pacing of the editing, with a cut on average every 4 seconds. The music, rather than building suspense, lacks true escalation. It never quite complements the frantic editing. From the moment we can hear Cage's screams and see the girl light the fire, the scene immediately loses any sense of anticipation. Instead, the film force feeds us quick edits, loud screams, and jarring reaction shots. And the reaction shots themselves are poorly executed. While the crowd appears content, their expressions lack depth. However, we get no real sense of what it really means to these individuals. Contentment is certainly an emotion, but what does their contentment in this moment add to the narrative? Who are we even rooting for in this scene? Despite the rapid-fire editing, there's a surprising lack of variation in the shot structure. This scene is filled with medium shots and long shots. Even when we get somewhat of a close-up, they are really closer to being just mid-shots, like this and this. Whereas the medium shots are messy and framed rather poorly. In this particular shot, it's unclear what exactly the focus is meant to be drawn to. Pay close attention to this shot of the Wicker Man's head. We're going to revisit this later. What's even more confusing is that this scene chooses to play its objective narrative through POV shots of Nicolas Cage's character Edward. However, this choice makes little to zero narrative sense, because this scene marks the demise of the very character through whose eyes we are meant to be experiencing it. Yet his apparent demise, in this case, is immediately undercut by a 6 months later title card and the continuation of the story.
See you guys here? We thought it was like lawyer night or something.
Yeah, it's like hardly any normal people here.
And of course, if we are seeing the story through the eyes of Nicolas Cage's character, once his character has met his demise, how can the story continue? And this is why using POV shots can be a double-edged sword. Because yes, whilst they are very visceral, they should really be used correctly and sparsely. The acting in the scene is the very last thing I'd like to touch upon. And whilst it would be easy to blame Cage for his shouty, non-emotional performance, not just in this scene but throughout the film.
What is that? What is that? What is it? Oh, no, not the beast! Not the beast! Ah! Open my eyes! Ah!
The broader issues with the film stem from the other performances in the film that often range from stoic
You instruct. Now I'll be off.
to overtly exaggerated.
Beside the gods and goddesses for all of eternity.
Now, maybe everything I just said was wrong. Maybe the scene was executed perfectly.
So what's wrong, sister?
Don't be frightened. Go. The name is Edward.
Thankfully, we have a direct comparison to truly make a judgment. Because this film is based on the cult 1973 British horror drama of the same name, starring Edward Woodward and Christopher Lee. It was directed by Robin Hardy in what is widely regarded as his masterpiece. The difference is truly stark. Immediately, we have the fire burning by a group of individuals as opposed to just a young girl. Now, of course, using the young girl has more of a shock value, and visually maybe even looks better. But also it seems quite gimmicky. Having this group do it says more about the collective mindset, and therefore narratively it adds to the story. The music is framed as diegetic rather than as a score, bringing you further into the scene. The emotions on the faces of the participants is instantly discernible. Pure euphoria. Our lead character is not screaming. He's panicked but paralyzed within fear. Until his singing of a Christian hymn is no random occurrence. It's a deliberate act. It's both a crucial character beat and a significant plot point. You see, unlike the 2006 film, the original lead character is a devout Christian police officer and a virgin. His sacrifice holds deeper thematic meaning here. The scene directly embodies the core narrative conflict, Christianity versus paganism. His almost desperate scene, a stark contrast to the community's roused chanting, is powerfully poetic. It speaks volumes, writing pages of dialogue without a single word exchanged. The shot structure is clear and deliberate. Wide shots are truly expansive, mediums are well composed, and crowd shots are distinct. This shot of the prayer remains unbroken for nearly a minute, which is a stark contrast to the remake with the 4-second edits. The editing in this scene is beautifully deliberate, cutting precisely when needed, holding when it needs to hold. It feels so organic. The result is a stunning, horrific, and unsettling score that feels utterly organic. A perfect synergy of music, framing, acting, and the powerful conflict of religious values. And as for the head of the Wicker Man, this shot is incredible, absolutely jaw-dropping. The timing of this shot would have to been absolutely impeccable. Capturing the head falling as the sun is setting in a single frame, especially in the era before widespread CGI, is incredible. This shot is the reason why cinema is the best art form. In this single moment, this piece of cinema seamlessly blends music, visual art, and dramatic movement. And that is precisely where this film ends. No jarring cuts, no POV shots, no abrupt 6 months later title cards. As I've mentioned before, often the most simple filmmaking choices can result in the most powerful and perfect moments. Simple filmmaking is perfect filmmaking. The original Wicker Man is a masterpiece film that deeply explores themes of faith, doubt, and the nature of belief. It stands unequivocally as a superior film to its Hollywood remake.
The beast! Ah! Open my eyes! My eyes! Ah! Ah!
I would love it if you could subscribe and also watch these two videos here. Until we speak again, big love.